Kenneth, several P&C insurers were interviewed by Canadian Underwriter and quoted on their return to work views. Many of them took the view that there will be more remote work going forward, but that it won't be a matter of individual flexibility, individuals deciding what days they work from home and what days they come into the office, but more of a team-based approach. Teams will work together as a unit, either in the virtual environment or in person. Do you see insurers turning more to a team-based approach to workforce operations going forward?
So I do think, Abby, the team-based approach is one that insurers have used for a while. And so what might be, in fact, a bit of a change now is what is the blend of remote work within that team, right? So as an example, insurers have been in the model where you have underwriters and underwriting assistants and underwriting support working as a team. In many instances, those are not co-located teams, and some they are, depending on the segment. The same thing is true for claims. You have claims services and claims support versus claims adjusters. So I think the industry is very grooved in the notion of how to actually work and how to bring those core teams together as it relates to the core functions. Of course, now we have the question of remote work coming into that as well. Again, the industry has, in many ways, been in a model where not everyone is co-located into a single operational center. Right? So I think there's some skill set already in terms of how to work with remote teams. I think that's going to get amplified in the current environment. Right? The thing that I know we've spoken about in the past in this discussion is, the flip side of the remote working environment is the apprenticeship side of the industry. And if you look at underwriting and claims, even agency management, actuarials, all of these fields have always been very heavily dependent on apprenticeship as a core element of development over time. And with the remote model, that to me is the longer term question that remains unanswered. I think the logistics of how to make it work will not be a struggle for the industry. I think not only has the industry demonstrated its ability to pivot quickly, which it did in 2020, but it's a long-standing capability. So I don't see as much of the logistic or the operational question as the key, but really what is the longer-term implication for an apprenticeship business like insurance? And so where are we going to go with that, right? In that light, there's a lot of sectors out there that have that issue. And so it's not a unique challenge for the insurance industry. It's certainly a challenge that I see for us as a services company. We have a very heavily apprenticeship-driven model, so we're an example of a company that also has to figure out how we balance remote versus in-person teams. But I do think it will be a shift, and there will be a need to balance the near-term logistics of this with the longer-term implications for skill and talent management and talent development in the industry.